Chad, weren't you like an actor or something? Yeah, I did the whole acting thing for like 20 years. Didn't you like work with Selena Gomez and Tom Hanks and Jamie Lynn Spears? What's this whole filmmaking thing? I don't get it. You had a good thing going. What are you doing, dude? So today, we're going to be talking about my journey from being an actor to being a filmmaker. Now you might be asking yourself, Chad, you were an actor. I know this because I've looked at your website, chadsmathers.com. What happened? Just kidding, you're probably not asking yourself that at all. I don't get it. So if you haven't seen my first video where I kind of talked about it a little bit, I used to be an actor.
I'm not famous. Don't you accuse me of that.
It's actually what brought me down from my home state of Oregon to Los Angeles. Why did I decide to transition from acting to filmmaking after almost 20 years of being an actor? And the truth is, the seeds were kind of planted when I was younger. It wasn't like a hard line in the sand of, okay, I was an actor and now I'm a filmmaker. It was really a natural progression. So the seeds were kind of planted at an early age, maybe around like 7 or 8, when my dad started showing me how to use our home video camera. Yes, the ones with the tapes. Showing my age a little bit. I would set up the camera and just film for hours. I would direct my sisters and we would create sketches. We'd create these little films. We would take on characters. We would do the whole thing. And even though at that moment I wasn't like, I want to be a filmmaker. Home videos, definitely beginning of my filmmaking career. But fast forward to years later, I was in high school, senior year, and I took a news class. It was called a class, but really we just got to have fun and watch movies and learn about editing. And so throughout my senior year, I kind of learned what it was to craft something, to edit something, to shoot something. And even during high school, my friends and I, we would shoot sketches, we would shoot kind of fun little short films. All those seeds were being planted. That was kind of the love of filmmaking was being nurtured, if you will. And then I was actually working at a movie theater at the time, both my junior and senior year of high school, and I could see movies for free. It was like the best thing ever. My boss at the time started asking me, hey, what kind of movies do you like? You know, you're an actor, like what kind of movies are you interested in? And I didn't really have an answer for him. Like I had a few that were kind of more popular movies, but I didn't know film. I didn't know cinema. And so for whatever reason, he took it upon himself to bring his favorite movies in DVD form, and he let me borrow them and watch them. And I think I watched probably like 5 to 10 films. And so it was interesting while I was learning how to edit, while I was getting more interested in behind the camera stuff during my senior year, being in a news class, he was also showing me these films that were, you know, critically acclaimed films, Oscar-winning films, but movies I had never even heard of. You know, at the time, I probably would have told you, oh, my favorite film of all time is like Transformers. So I'm in this news class, I'm watching these films, I'm working at a movie theater, I'm seeing movies for free, and honestly, this whole other world started being opened up to me, which was, wow, there's this whole other side of this behind the camera that is making these films happen. And here I was, a professional actor. I was working on professional sets. And it just clicked then. So then it comes time for me to decide where I want to go to school. I still to this day can't really explain to you why I did this, but I started applying to film programs. And if you saw the first video on my channel, I ended up choosing Emerson because they accepted me into the film program. So I get to Emerson College and I start taking all these film classes. And then, gosh, the bug just bit, you guys. I started just consuming movie after movie, really looking from the lens of the craft of filmmaking. And yeah, I was focusing on the acting, but during that time, during that freshman year of college at Emerson, my focus was shifting to the directing, to the writing, to the cinematography, to the production design, to the wardrobe, to the music. And ironically enough, I started watching YouTube videos of interviews with filmmakers. What's this whole filmmaking thing? And I would watch these videos and I realized, oh my gosh, I could do this. And not only could I do this, I want to do this. And here I was, this actor who had given his whole life to pursuing that. and had put in years and years, and yet there was something more. As I reflect on why it happened, basically from ages like 19 until 24, I still wasn't seriously considering myself as a filmmaker. I was trying it out. I was making things. I was producing things, even though I didn't really know how to do that. I was directing things for the first time. I was holding casting sessions for my own projects. Even though I was doing all of that, I still didn't really seriously consider myself a filmmaker, and I definitely didn't consider it as like a career. So it wasn't until I was about 25 or 26 that I actually felt this legitimate shift in my heart that I didn't want to do acting anymore. I remember one day sitting with God, after a few years of experimenting with filmmaking and learning more and watching YouTube videos, I realized, wow, maybe this is more than just something fun I can do. Maybe this is more than just trying something out. Maybe this is something I'm meant to do. And part of me also struggled with the fact that I had spent almost 20 years invested in acting, and am I too late? When you're switching a career path, or even though it was in the same field, when you're switching a career path or you're switching a lane, it can feel like all the years prior were wasted, or, oh man, I'm starting from scratch. But the beauty of how God used my experience as an actor is I know that language. I know how to communicate with actors. I know how to work with actors. And beyond that, I was able to glean a lot from being on set my entire life. And it allowed me to create my own approach and maybe do things a little bit differently. So I bring all that up because for a long time in my mid-20s, I was very intimidated by the fact that I was this former actor turned filmmaker. I have nothing against acting. I love acting. And I'm not even saying that I would never do it again. I just felt this shift in my mid-20s that, hey, I'm supposed to focus on this filmmaking thing 100%. I'm supposed to give it everything I have. While it was incredibly difficult to take that step of faith and start on a new path, that shift has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. It's taught me perseverance in ways that I couldn't have even imagined. And I've made some cool stuff, and I've worked with some really cool people, and it's opened some really incredible doors. And obviously I give glory to God. I wouldn't have made that decision if it wasn't for him prompting me. So all glory truly goes to him. So yeah, all that being said, I am incredibly excited about some projects coming down the pipeline. These past 5 or 6 years, I've been writing a lot, been writing features, TV shows. I've worked on documentaries. I've traveled the world, and I don't regret making that decision. I don't regret making that change for 1 second. I can honestly say I feel the most fulfilled and the most in alignment with God's purpose for my life when I am directing, when I am writing, when I'm producing. And at the core, I am a storyteller. Part of this channel and me starting it is to invite you guys into the process of my journey as a filmmaker, and not invite you into the process where I'm already successful, not invite you into the process where I've already arrived, but to kind of invite you into the middle. You probably don't know me. You don't know my films. You don't know, Chad Wesley Smathers is not like a household name. I'm not known in the industry as a filmmaker. If anything, people probably know me more as an actor. And I probably get more questions for that than I do as a filmmaker. I thank God for those opportunities and for that season of my life. However, filmmaking is something I feel called to do, to tell stories that mean something, that make you laugh, that make you cry. Feature films, television shows, documentaries. I want to do it all, and I want to bring you guys on the journey with me. Even if you're not in the creative field, people change careers all the time, and it can be a very difficult thing and a very painful thing, but it can also be a really rewarding thing. And ultimately, if you're not doing what you love, what are you doing? That's pretty much it, y'all. I'm not going to beg you to subscribe. See this face? This is me not caring if you don't subscribe. This is me being totally content. Please subscribe. Please just click the button. And then ding, ding. And even if your keyboard isn't up here and it's down here, you can still do it. Boom, boom. Okay, that's all. Bye.